We just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to continue the March to the King series. We are still on the Millennium series, but we're at the final stage. We have one more movie left to go after this review, being Final Wars. This video, we're going to review Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Yes! So, been a long time since I've seen this movie, and a lot of people after my last review said, hey, you know, this one's a lot better. The last movie was a build-up, and I would have to agree. Very good assessment. The only thing I remembered about this movie when I watched it was basically all the fighting. Back in the day, when I bought all these movies and I started watching them, I did the same thing I did as a kid. I would get the movie, put it in, forward pass all the dialogue, all the story, and just go straight to the fights. So this has been a great experience for me to go back and watch all these movies, because, you know, if you review a movie, gotta watch the whole thing, right? And I gotta say, this story is a little better. Overall, I enjoyed this movie. This GMK and Godzilla 2000 are probably the three movies I like in the Millennium series so far. I will say in advance, I did like Final Wars when I saw it, just because it was the last one probably. But once I go back and I look at that movie again, I'll give the full review next week. But I would say so far this is probably my favorite one in the series, the Millennium series, that is. Yeah, even better than GMK. GMK for me was... It was good. I love the fighting. I love the badass Godzilla. But this one, to me, seemed a little bit more complete from beginning to end. I like the continuity, going back and revisiting a character from a Showa series, as well as the infants, or excuse me, not the infants, Infant Island and the fairies. Going back and talking about Mothra destroying Tokyo. So that instantly won me over right off the bat from the beginning of the movie. Also, just in general, I thought the story was good. You know, it wasn't overly crazy. You know, it did pick up where, you know, the last movie left off, so to speak, but you didn't get the whole Godzilla bone thing shoved in your face outside of the whole, you know, the fairies basically telling the human race to return Godzilla to the sea. You know, you didn't see him go crazy, and then at the end, instead of going crazy, he turns, I guess if you want to say Kiryu turns good. But that's really the only time you get to see him lose control, and I was kind of happy with that, because in my last review I said, you know, the whole thing about him losing control and then turning on the city after the other Godzilla left, you know, it's like, man, if you're gonna give him that kind of power, why not have him fight Godzilla while he's, like, you know, completely run over by the old Godzilla? That was my big thing there. Where here, that wasn't really the focus. They kind of left it for the end, and they portrayed him as a hero. So one way or another, in some sense or another, you get Godzilla being a hero, whether he's being a hero through Kiryu or whether he's being a hero in another movie. But I gotta say, you know, the whole... I get tired of seeing Mothra coming in and kicking this guy's ass. It's like, that's probably my... I don't want to say it's my gripe, because I did like seeing him... I did like seeing Godzilla engulf Mothra in flames, don't get me wrong. And then, I guess, the whole Mothra larvae with the red eyes, I guess that's their way of getting upset. So, instead of a roar, or instead of going nuts and losing their control, and their eyes turn red. So, I guess that's about as dramatic as it gets for them when they see their mother die. Oh my god, mom's dead. Red eyes. I don't know. I was like, okay. So, but still, like, after that, they started the whole, you know, this side is one larvae shooting up the silk. This side is another larvae shooting up silk. Kind of throwing back to the whole... And this is not the first time. That's happened plenty of times. That's how the larvae fight. You know, they hide behind. They do guerrilla warfare, that whole shit. But I did take pleasure in seeing Mothra engulfed in flames. I did take pleasure in seeing Godzilla kind of play dumb, and then the larvae came out, and he turned around and shot the breath, and the damn thing went flying. That was hilarious. So, but it's not that I hate Mothra, but damn, that's like the one monster Godzilla can almost never beat. And it's not like the monster kills him. They just subdue him with that white shit, that silk, you know? It's like, you know, it's such a cheap move now. That's not going to be in the kaiju battle. Oh, never mind. Mothra's going to fly in the kaiju battle, fantasy battle, so. But anyway, so yeah, so overall, I thought it was a good movie. You know, it was solid. It definitely was one of the better ones in the Millennium series, in my opinion. You know, Mecha Kiryu, or Mechagodzilla, Kiryu, whatever you want to call him, the whole part with him regaining Godzilla consciousness and then taking him and dumping him in the water, I guess that was alright. That's where it got a little bit like, but still, the whole movie in and of itself was so much better. Mothra looked a little mangy. I mean, I saw him like, oh, that suit's gotten old, huh? They need to redo that whole model that the hair's kind of like falling off the wings. She's got like a beard, and maybe she was meant to look that way. I don't know, but man, did she look mangy! Wow, she needed like a good brush and a trim. Fairies have not been taking care of her. Not at all. No way. These new fairies, the old fairies groomed her perfectly. This one, phew, these fairies don't take care of her. No wonder she's willing to sacrifice herself. She's not being properly taken care of. So, but look, seriously, all in all, the movie was solid. It definitely had more stability, in my opinion, than the prior movie. The prior movie was just, this was not good for me. Where this one, it just was a lot better. This felt more complete. Like I said, the continuity won me over. That was a big thing for me. The continuity was what won me over because so few of these movies, these Godzilla movies do that. And then when you go from era to era, they just completely write off what's happened the prior era. Not all of them, some of them though, most of them I would say. But the continuity was a big plus for me. The fight scenes were great. Godzilla, oh my god. When he tripped Kiryu and Kiryu started falling face first and he just looked up and bam, right in his face and got his eye out. Good stuff. The fighting was great. It was definitely a lot better in this movie. So it was good. This one was a good one. I have to say, this is probably my favorite one in the Millennium series so far, with GMK being right behind it, and then Godzilla 2000. Megaguirus and Godzilla against Mechagodzilla just didn't do it for me. So that's it. That's it. Godzilla Tokyo SOS. I gave it a plus, man. It was a good movie. Not too bad. Was pretty impressed with this one. One thing I gotta say though before I go, these whole guys that control Mega Kiryu or Mega Godzilla, whatever, or that control Mega Godzilla back in the Heisei series, and I'm still trying to figure out what kind of benefit does martial art training have to do with them flying a ship? Like, he's when he's and I don't remember the characters' names once again, but when the mechanic, which is probably the main character, the one that's in Kiryu at the end, and then the other guy who's part of the flight team, they had that little rivalry going on, and he's like bullshitting to the mechanic, like, I'm the greatest fighter and this and that. I just don't understand what that has to do with flying a ship. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a reflex thing, like, since I can move fast, I can press buttons fast. I don't know. This is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to continue the March to the King series. We are still on the Millennium series, but we're at the final stage. We have one more movie left to go after this review, being Final Wars. This video, we're going to review Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Yes! So, been a long time since I've seen this movie, and a lot of people after my last review said, hey, this one's a lot better. The last movie was a build-up, and I would have to agree. Very good assessment. The only thing I remembered about this movie when I watched it was basically all the fighting. Back in the day, when I bought all these movies and I started watching them, I did the same thing I did as a kid. I would get the movie, put it in, forward past all the dialogue, all the story, and just go straight to the fights.